How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Monsters. This is Season 2, Episode 24, and is the finale of Season 2, so that's pretty cool. Made it all the way through another season. Only one left. Anyway, this episode's entitled The Family Man. It originally aired June 3rd, 1990, and was directed by Michael Warren Powell. The episode stars Michael O'Gorman and Corley, Calvin Armitage, and Kelli Rabke. And overall, this was a fun enough little episode with a few good ideas, and it was okay enough, but overall it was one that I wish I liked more than I did, and it definitely has some major problems. The setup for this is pretty interesting. The idea that this kid has a special pair of glasses, and when the mom's new boyfriend shows up, he's the only one that can see that he is a lizard person. He's a reptilian. Well, what's the kid going to do? I wish we got more out of that. This is not a great cat and mouse episode. You think of all these fun antics you could get up to trying to prove that he's an alien when no one else knows. But instead, the kid stupidly tips his hand way too early in the episode, and we simply jump to the obvious solution as to how to deal with this problem, and I wish there was more to it than that, but there really isn't. I mean, if you look at Resident Alien, it's a show on Sci-Fi, you get this alien, and the only one that knows he's an alien is this little kid with a mutation that can see through his disguise, and the back and forth on that show is absolutely great, and I wish we had something better in this particular episode. But in the Monsters episode, it really kind of falls flat, and at times you can see what it could have been, but they don't really put any effort into doing a good puzzly story. There's no good back and forth or war against these two characters. It, again, just kind of comes out kind of flat, and I don't want to harp on him too much, but the kid in this episode is pretty stiff. Why you? I'm going to get you, you. He's not a great kid actor, and so much of the episode and its emotion hinges on him. He's our point of view, but he's not great, and that really does suck. Again, though, I don't like harping on kid actors, but yeah, it's definitely one of the noticeable problems. However, all that aside, there is one big elephant in the room with this episode. The kid has a special pair of glasses, and that lets him see that the guy is an imposter, he's an alien, and he's the only one that knows, and I need you to put on these glasses. Does that sound a little bit familiar? Yeah, that's the same basic setup as John Carpenter's They Live. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a great movie. But it's a little hard to overlook the similarities in this episode. And I do want to say I'm not really a stickler for this kind of thing, and I get that stories borrow from each other and change things, and that when you introduce a plot element in one story, someone can take and reinterpret that, and that's how stories build and grow, and I get that. So in turn, my basic rule for how close is too close is it distracting? Is it hard to watch the episode without thinking about it? And honestly, the whole time I'm watching this episode, I'm like, that's just They Live. That's the exact same concept as They Live. And to be fair, they do change some things. The idea that it's a kid this time around and they don't really go into the social political structure or anything, it is different, but it's too close. I wish there was something that distinguished it a little more, maybe make the glasses more magical or something, but as it stands now, it's just an episode that doesn't do as much as it could have, and the inspiration is a little too obvious. Not a terrible episode by any means, and it is a fun concept even if I have seen it before, but yeah, a little too on the nose, and if we're going to do They Live, I wish we did They Live better. But whatever. I guess in order to further analyze this episode, let's dive into the plot. I'm not going to do any major spoilers, but I do want to say my piece on a few plot points and make sure you guys have a basic understanding as to what this episode's about. I'll be avoiding the end bit, so no major spoilers, but let's dive in. We open up with this family, and they're preparing a backyard barbecue, and this is going to be a special dinner where the mom introduces her new boyfriend to the rest of the family. And the family's generally likable, like the mom seems nice, the daughter, of course, has a feud with her younger brother, and there's a little bit of a back and forth there, and she's really interested, like, ooh, who's the guy the mom's gonna bring home? Is he gonna be cool? And the young boy is, of course, a little more skeptical and doesn't trust him initially. And it turns out part of the reason is because their father died. He was an officer who died in the line of duty, and it's been a year and a half, and he's still processing this. Well, the kid goes up to his room. That's when the new boyfriend comes in, and he seems to win everybody over. He's nice, he's personable, and he's also like a psychiatrist at the university, so he seems all in all like a good guy, and there's a suspicion that he might pop the question tonight. Before we leave this setting, I do want to say the set for the backyard, clearly a soundstage, and it's totally easier to shoot stuff on a soundstage, a controlled environment. But in turn, they had to say the backyard backs up to like garages and businesses on all sides so they could put a wall up there instead of having it go off into the distance. Yeah, obvious soundstage, but again, whatever. Well, the guy goes up to see the kid, and the kid is wearing his father's glasses. They're too big on him, they're the wrong prescription, but he won't take them off. But when he looks at the new boyfriend through the father's glasses, there's something in there that makes him see the boyfriend's true form. He's a lizard person, he's a reptilian. What's the kid going to do? And I will say he tries to tell his older sister and his mother, and they just brush him off. And I'm like, okay, how hard is this to get someone to wear a pair of glasses and look at a person? I mean, don't get me wrong, if I went up to my family and friends and said, that guy's a reptilian, they wouldn't believe me, but I think that they would at least put on the glasses, if not just for a joke, Yeah, it's always one of those frustrating things, people doing stuff completely that they wouldn't do just to keep the episode going. Whatever. As I said, the kid tips his hand stupidly early in the episode, and when we do get the back and forth between him and the reptilian, there is some interesting ideas as to what species this thing is, and they even do throw out a possible explanation for the glasses, two elements that I wish they focused on more. But again, instead of that cat and mouse, what we get for most of the episode is you should accept reality and face things as they happen, which honestly is, in most cases, good advice. So it seems like this Monsters episode has the moral of don't accept your mom's new boyfriend, and I get that there could be cases like for abuse where that would make sense, and in which case I do wish this was a much more layered story, because as it stands now, it seems like the story's moral is the exact opposite of what you'd want it to be. Yeah, I wish this was better. As I said, they don't go anywhere with the concept. The concept is clearly borrowed, and the kid actor is pretty stiff. The idea of who this other species is, and the glasses, like, oh, hey, they probably came about this way, there's some originality there, and I wish that we could get more of the originality, and I wish we could play up the angle that, oh, he's a kid, what can he do? But again, they jump to the most obvious and easy solution, and I just wish there was something more here. Again, not a bad episode, it's fun enough, I just wish it was better, and that's kind of frustrating. Whatever though, it's an okay enough note to go out on. But let's see what Season 3 has in store for us. I hope to get to that relatively soon. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Monsters playlist. If you guys want to see me talk about past episodes of the show, you should be able to find them there. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist here. Have a good day now.